mind is okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo.
Onyedu iPod, Omeri Onendizu, Oniriya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi bu Onyedu iPod, Omeri Onendizu, Oniriya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's the three. Unapuri Meri Nnamdi. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary, bó bá ṣe é, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun diary.
Good afternoon to you, good morning to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. And yes, this is Maiyegun Live. We are going to be talking about the updates on the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the sham court trial. If you have the time, stay by, share the video, right? Invite others too. Maiyegun today. And yeah.
Ani esunraki.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ani esunraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ani esunraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ani esunraki.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Thank you. And as you are joining and sharing the broadcast, inviting others, you can settle down now. So thank you so much for joining me. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought to court today. But in preparation for his arrival, as usual, I'm going to take you to Abuja, just show you and share some things and what have you with you, right? As we go fully into this conversation today. It looks good. I'm going to say that. And there's another thing that I actually kind of looking for. It was the usual Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the man that will never be in any way, right, silenced, even in the face of his own traducers, his persecutors. Nnamdi Kanu will still find a means of questioning the sham they call court process. Let me tell you something. Nothing happened in court today other than they just made a show of it. They didn't allow the lawyers to come in time. And by the time the lawyers are going to be in, they just gave the verdict that the court has adjourned to January 2022. I'm still going to talk more about the adjournment. But let's go to Abuja for a start, where the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, the traditional rulers from Biafra land, all converged in Abuja to give their support and solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the lion of Biafra. You don't have to like him, right? But they were all locked out by the same people who said they have evidence of a crime on Nnamdi Kanu. They have him. Bring out your evidence. They couldn't bring any, but it is just to buy time, deny him his right, including every support that comes his way. His lawyers were locked out too. But let's show you how it was preparing for the arrival of Nnamdi Kanu today in Abuja.
My name is Maiyegun General and we are live and direct today at Federal High Court Abuja. We are reporting live and direct. As you can see, the press have also been denied access to the court today. Same thing that happened the last time. And we are protesting. We are protesting against it. Today is the 10th day of November 2021, and we are expecting to see the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, brought to court today. But unfortunately, the DSS has restricted us entrance into the court premises. This is a major road leading to the court. As you can see, there are huge number of security. This is a major road leading to this court premises. We are being denied access. That is why we are here arguing. The continuation of the court case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is today. And rumors has it that he has arrived at court, but we have not confirmed because we can't even go in there. But we are yet to.
That's not all. Let me show you another one. This is also from the outside the court. This. Early in the morning. But sooner than later, people started arriving. I mean, huge number of people started arriving, including the One Nigeria supporters. They turned Nnamdi Kanu's trial to a carnival. They brought in band sets. They brought in musicians. And they were dancing, singing about One Nigeria. And they also brought in coffin that they wrote, IPOB killed Dr. Akunyili, Professor Akunyili's husband. All that happened outside the court today. but the one that is pretty much odious, pretty much like sad, is how they treated the elders who also came to represent that block of Igbo elders to give their support and solidarity as well, no matter what some of you feel towards them. They were there to give him that physical support, moral support, that he is not alone. But they were denied access too, and they also protested it.
The former governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Chukwumekezi, just arrived to the court premises. He's been questioned. And even the Ohaneze Igbo lawyer, who was Rike Dodi, is also here.
The former governor of Anambra State. At the same time,
These are some of the Igbo Southeast delegates, Southeast traditional rulers delegates. The DSS are also restricting. Don't allow them
He said all cases have been you see the light. Calm down.
So they kept them all out there. Even barrister Aloy Ejimako was also locked out until the later part of the day, when the court already said, so they had to walk out of the court. However, his own reactions too. In fact, I'm coming to that. That's the carnival part where people brought in Nigerian flag. Yeah, in large numbers, they came to Nnamdi Kanu's trial with Nigerian flag, that Nigeria is one Nigeria, one Nigeria. However, here is where the lawyers had to take their protest to inside that court where they were restricted from accessing. One sec, sorry.
Why did you come up? We are here. He's supposed to hear from us before the case. We are here. The courts are where we are just outside enough. And we were called us, we are here. And our books and law reports, our bags are inside the court right here. And the courts are where we are outside the court door. You have simply someone even let us to get process. That's normal thing. And said the court was locked. So basically we were locked out. It's a secret trial. Now, excuse me, on behalf of Ohaneze, let me just make it very clear. Ohaneze delegation came to this court. The traditional rulers sent a large delegation to this proceeding. The former governor of Anambra is here. All of them are outside the gates, being harassed and being disgraced, and I've been standing for 2 hours. I'm talking of men in their 80s, some in their 90s. I am the lawyer to Ohaneze. I am outside, and I could not go in. So, where is the justice of this case? Where is the trial?
Because there's no trial. It's a sham. There's no evidence. There's nothing to try him for. They just want to keep him, do a secret trial, and sentence him to death. like they did to Ken Saro-Wiwa. You know, today actually makes it 26th year that they killed Ken Saro-Wiwa. Or yeah, the day they actually sent him to the gallows and they hung him. Abacha's government. The people who killed Ken Saro-Wiwa are the same people in government in Nigeria today. The Abacha boys, the killer squad, and all those kind of technique that can keep the entire country locked down like they have done right now. Secret trial. A judge is going to come and it's just going to hand the judgment in, and everybody will be asking, what kind of judgment is this? What's the base of this whole thing? That's what they want to do. But we are still coming to that too. It got to a point where the lawyers eventually, even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, reacted so angrily. And this is the part that actually makes me feel kind of happier that with all they must have done to him, with what they did to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, where he said they handcuffed him and chained him to the floor for over 8 days. And they were beating him because Malamu told them that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a relationship with a terrorist organization in Kenya. That is there in Kenya to come and see the Al-Shabaab in Kenya. Right? But Kenya government and Kenya authority never tried to take him through their legal system. They took him through the back door, the black market, and kidnapped him. And when they realized that he had nothing to do with Al-Shabaab or any terrorist, instead of them to let him go, they handed him over to Malamu as a trophy. Now you are in court. I mean, bring the evidence of the crime and let the case get on. Let him be defended if you have nothing to hide. But because it is a sham, there's no trial, there's no case. It is all political. And for those who have the political stick to wield them now, because people are already asking the IPOB to wield their. So despite all they did to him, and God knows what they have done to him as well in the DSS detention. You see, when they talk about torture, some of you think it's about physical. It's not always about physical torture. Torture can be psychological. Most of it is actually psychological. But despite all of that, Nnamdi Kanu in his own glory also sensed the old charade going on outside. How could you bring me to court and you won't let my lawyers come in? You won't let the people that came here because of this case come in? And you all are here. Who gave that order? On whose authority is that? The usual Nnamdi Kanu.
If I remove your hand small. Who told you that? No, I said your hand small. Where are you commanding?
Nnamdi Kanu, their nightmare, the man that they love to see that yes, they have him, because they are so scared. I mean, so scared of him that seeing him walk free could probably make some of them go to sleep and never wake up again. Fear of Nnamdi Kanu, and you begin to ask, where is the base for this fear? Right? But Nnamdi Kanu is sound, strong. And let me tell you something, right? With that, I have a very much relaxed mind now that this is a timely thing, yeah? And it is time to turn it on. Turn it on, the heat on, turn it on. Those who pull the string or who fail to pull the right string right now for their, because they are the machinator, those who actually machinated this, right? So, they pull it now, or I think with what IPOB are saying, they're going to go to the phase 2 of this whole struggle. We said Nnamdi Kanu should not be in that place. in Christmas, on Christmas Day. It should never be there to the end of this year. But they came back without any trial, without any airing from any presentation from the prosecutor or the defendant. The defendants are unable to defend themselves. Nobody could come in. Prosecutor came in and they asked the court, can you please adjourn this case till January 19, 2022? And Binta Yako postponed it for them. However, the lawyers spoke outside. Maybe you should listen.
Our books were inside the court, our bag we're just outside the court door. Because a number of us were outside, we are not allowed to come in. So the court came in. Come and shoot us now. The court came in and they called up the case. Because it's the only case on the court. Call up the case. Ordinarily, it is the practice that when lawyers are not in court, and when you are aware that they are weak and down, the court will naturally ask, what are the lawyers? And they will tell you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in court. The Mazi Kanu was there, was in court. And our client was in court. We have seen him before them. But the lawyers are outside. You have ordinarily summoned the legal counsel to find out from him what was actually going on. That has been the practice. So in a civilized society, that has been the practice in this country actually. I've not witnessed a situation whereby court will call in and call a case when lawyers in the matter were outside the court door. I've not seen such thing. So and when we were told that the court was about to proceed, we now struggle to go inside the court, the local stand. We are knocking at the door, the local stand, only for us to be told that the court called our client, called the prosecutor, and have a discussion with them in open court. So, taking us back to what happened on 26th of June, 2021, when he was talking to court with reference to us, and allowed to address the court. So, it's a clear case of denial of fair hearing. So, and the height of travesty of justice. This is what you are seeing now. So, if the court is not ready to go on with this case, what the judge, my lord, will have done is just to rescue himself from the matter. It's simple. It's allowed. Very simple. It's allowed. Instead of going about this way, because from what is playing out today, I don't think that the legal team, as we are today, still have implicit confidence in the court to go together with this case. We don't have confidence in the court again to go on with this case. And we're going to activate relevant administrative process to ensure that the right thing is done. And this case, I can assure you today, this case will not get to January. It was the hard, and here the hardest, just to see. We must activate the process to ensure that the matter is come up, is hard this week. He has not committed an offense to law. We have informed the world, filed our solid objection to the charge, that the 7-count amended charge filed against Nnamdi Kanu is as empty as what one can never imagine. It's as empty as what one can never imagine. It's a worthless paper before the court. And we have filed a strong objection to challenge it. And the court is under obligation to hear this application, deliver only one or the other. He can't run away from it. And no trial will commence in this case without application being had. Of course. So we're going to take up the matter in the court of Adjourned. Thank you so much. Your name for the record.
It's very clear that the reason for the lockout I've been here 5 times. My name is Bruce Fine. I'm an international lawyer who represents Nnamdi Kanu from the United States. It was clear today that they were, when the lawyers were entering the courtroom, when I was there, they said, no, Mr. Fine, you can't enter. It's clear that the 5th time this has happened to me, despite the court order authorizing Nnamdi Kanu to see any lawyers of his choice without any inhibition whatsoever. It's a flagrant violation of international law. The Nigerian constitution describes an accused of right of access to counsel. It's very clear every single day that Nnamdi Kanu is being detained is another violation of international law. He's being punished in solitary confinement. There's never been any hearing whatsoever. Never been a finding that he did anything guilty whatsoever. And here he is. Now we have a scheduled hearing in January, 6 months of punishment before you even have a trial. Think of that. That's Alice in Wonderland. Sentence for his verdict afterwards. This case is going to go to an international forum. I'm taking the case to Geneva, the Working Group on International Arbitrary Detention, the International Criminal Court, and the International Court of Justice in The Hague, the United States Congress, to make clear that the Nigerian judiciary cannot be trusted. Sanctions are necessary in order to bring it into conformity with due process of law. And until that happens, Nigeria will be a pariah state. It will be a failed state. And I want to underscore to the Nigerian judiciary, you're not immune from criminal prosecution like the Nazi judges weren't either. You participate in the flagrant violation of human rights, you'll be charged with crimes against humanity at the ICC, and I can guarantee that because I'm going to do it. My name is Bruce.
Bruce Fine. Bruce Fine for record.
Bruce Fine.
Bruce Fine for record is a former deputy attorney general of the United States of America. This person speaking to you.
Yes.
And a lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB in the United States of America.
You say fine, right?
Yeah, F-E-I-N. F-E-I-n.
Welcome, sister.
Right, that's now Bruce Fine, lawyer from the United States. We deny access to enter the courtroom today to hear the trial of Nnamdi Kanu.
I hope that makes some sense to you, especially for those who want to see the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the sham trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by Nigeria. If you want to see them in the same clip where you can follow the story and you can get every clip that back them up, and as well to help you too to understand why we call it a sham trial, why they are running away from court. You have somebody you accuse of a crime. You have your evidence according to you. You said he must be jailed. And in fact, you want him killed through your courts. But you are using that same legal system, this judiciary, right, to deny him his right. His right to defend himself. Because you know that all the allegations, listen to me, even if you are a Buhari idiot, right, legally, people you accuse of anything, they have the right to represent themselves. The terrorists that Buhari are given the back door clearance, and they call it, amnesty for the terrorists, Operation Safe Corridor. They never face any court, they never face any judge, and they are even telling you that they are not terrorists. But this is Nnamdi Kanu. They are telling you that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, so we are charging him for terrorism. We are charging him for treason. We are charging him for trying to break Nigeria. We are charging him for calling Buhari idiots. So he has the right to respond to those allegations. You own the court, you own the judges, but you are so afraid to come to your own court and present your case. You lock lawyers out, you lock people out. So when they begin to bring their witnesses or your own fake witnesses that will need to be cross-examined, you can't do that behind the curtain. That's not how the whole world works. And I love what Faye said. He said, it's obvious now that there's no justice in Nigeria, and Nnamdi Kanu will never get that justice. Media trial is what Nnamdi Kanu will continue to get. Same with everyone accused of any crime by that corrupt, murderous regime of Buhari. You will never get justice. They locked Omoyele Sowore up in Abuja for over a year now. They call it city arrest. His brother was killed by Fulani terrorists. They couldn't give him the honor, the respect to go and pay the last respect to his own brother. That's how chronic and sadist they are. No justice. They think in their own bubble, they have created this bubble of this is Nigeria, we can do whatever we like. I love what Fain said. You don't think you are going to be immune from prosecution. Buhari and gang, their names are already repeating and reoccurring there at the International Criminal Court in Hague. Some of the judges in Nigeria, some of the police officers, DSS officers, so many of them, they will end up there. Let me tell you this, right? For those who have no clue. Buhari won't be in that place forever. You know that. Malamu and gang, they will not hold that control forever. You know that. They're going to lose it. Everything they are doing right now, yeah, they will be held responsible for them. Criminals who have nothing, they have nothing against Nnamdi Kanu. I mean, even if you are a Buhari idiot, as a cyberbarian, yeah, me and you, as Nnamdi Kanu is there now, Abi, what do you think Buhari should do? The evidence, all the things all of you are saying, the Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB killed this person, IPOB killed police, IPOB this. Can you bring those evidence and bring them to court? It is your court. It is your judge. It is your police officers, your evidence. Bring them. Stop running away from court and adjourning cases. That's what people are asking. That's not how the whole world operates. A pariah state. And you see all those judges, all of them, who are also part of this whole nonsense, giving fake judgments, giving a fake pronunciation and the rest of that, right? Pronouncement, they call it. They will end up in jail too. You have no idea. Ask those who killed Thomas Sankara. They killed Thomas Sankara years ago. Now, many of them are going to end up where they never thought they would end up, you know. And that's what I love about what that American lawyer said. Terrorists don't get representatives. No. I would have expected, we would have expected the Buhari and gang, instead of giving amnesty to terrorists behind door, yeah, bring them out. Let us see all the terrorists, all the 8,000 terrorists that you have released, all the 17,000 terrorists that have repented. Let's have their names, their age, and everything. Let's have their data. Take them to court. So that let's see the lawyers that will come and bail them. Under what condition? Not make an arrangement, a Fulani arrangement that paid and reward terrorism and then punishes the activists. The activists. That is the contraption you have in Nigeria. And the world knows. The world does. The world knows. Even though if what many would prefer was to see the whole world to react better than the world is reacting right now to what is going on in Nigeria, nevertheless, the world knows. And I'm so happy with this generation. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. No matter what, a terrorist like Issa Pandemic, terrorist like Malamun, terrorist like Buhari himself, and every other person working with that jihadist government, pardoning terrorists in Nigeria, whatever they tell you, Igbo is not a criminal. Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. Now, if you have a case, same thing in the Benin Republic. If you have a case against Igbo, bring the case out rather than use your African madness, African bullish, system to shut people up and then deny them their human rights. That doesn't work. I mean, in the world or in today's world, you will pay. It's just a matter of time. You have him in your court. What is holding them? Are they looking for evidence? Are they looking for best lawyer to prosecute him or best judge or what? What are they looking for? They have said that that case is not going to wait till January 2019. I love that too. With what Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor said, they are not going to wait. They are going to ask Binta Iyako to recuse herself from this case. If she's dealing with forces beyond her, if she's been twisted to keep Nnamdi Kanu in jail, like unprosecuted, no court, no nothing, she would have to recuse herself. I want to see how that goes. That's the kind of fight I want. And if they need to mount pressure and continue, as started the sit-at-home as a means of a protest too, I have no say in that. But again, I mean, anything that will make them make this happen as soon as possible, because they have nothing on Nnamdi Kanu. But wait, they have nothing on him. They have to go and pay people to come and do carnival at Nnamdi Kanu's trial, championing one Nigeria at Nnamdi Kanu's trial, when they were supposed to be preparing the evidence they said they have against him, the reason why they kidnapped him. But they are running away from their court. Look at these guys.
The special lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi. the special lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they here, and he go like tell us wetin happen inside court. Oga, how he go today?
Well, it didn't go well. We were locked outside, and we tried to get inside, but we found that the courtroom was locked from inside, and the judge simply didn't allow us to come inside because she had problem with the number of lawyers on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's side, and I don't think that should have been a problem. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a right to counsel. The Constitution didn't say he has a right to only one counsel. It's a very complicated case, and he needs to have access to as many counsels as he can afford, and as the courtroom perimeters can afford. And the courtroom itself had a lot of empty seats that could have taken all of us. But what happened in the final analysis is that the court locked us out. And while we were locked out, the court commenced proceedings without our presence in court and adjourned the matter to 19th and 20th January next year, which we find to be a travesty of justice and a flagrant a violation of Section 36 of Nigerian Constitution, which contains a fair hearing safeguards for defendants.
So, what will be your next move now?
Well, we are going back to the drawing board. We are not going to take this line low. We are going to consider a number of countervailing legal judicial measures.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, now special counsel to
Aloy
Ejimako
is my name. Special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I salute you now. Una well done, but I know happy.
No best. Okay, and I don't hear as a special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu Tokam, barrister Aloy Ejimako, into say then lock them out.
So in a nutshell, that was what the charm that happened today, court trial. And we wait. But do you want to see Mazi himself? He actually managed to give a face in the courts before they took him away today. You want to see?
I won't get him married. Yes. Because a lot of the Biafrans. No, I won't think him more. So, I don't know. Good afternoon. I can hand out. No prize here. Yes. Your final protest because the quality in the person but another
just a brief time in there, and that takes that takes me back to this particular one just before we move to another thing.
If I remove your hands more. Who told you that? No, I said your hands more.
Onye du aikọ o meriwo n'izu onire ya abakare mama dawura unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri Nnamdi bụ onye du aikọ o meriwo n'izu mbiro ya abakare mama ndawura unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri Nnamdi win the war Python that's one Python that's two na Python that's three unapori meri
Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. No fear with no Nnamdi. I wish I actually had Igbo very well. And I'm going to try to learn that. I am trying to, just never really took it much serious. Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. That's the first thing you should tell yourself every time the name comes up. He's not a criminal. He is fighting for what you should be fighting for. Me, myself, everyone should be fighting for. The people holding on to Biafra, they are not Yorubas. They are not Fulanis. They are not Hausas. They are not from any other parts other than the Igbo land, the Biafra land. The people that will hold us from getting Yoruba nation, they are not Fulanis. They are not Hausas. They are not Igbos. They are going to be the same Yorubas. So that is why, if you pay attention very well, you realize that those that should be fighting for us, those that should be speaking for us, those that should use their position to make things happen for us before the advent or the emergence of the likes of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Oloye Sunday Adeyemo Igbo, they choose to parley with those who just want to take advantage of us, even if they have to kill us in doing so. So the saboteurs are those who speak the same language like me and you. And that is why when we found ourselves in a place where we speak the same one, the same language, which is the language of liberty, freedom, independence, and all that, we should do everything within our fold. That even when we disagree, we should do everything within our fold to always resolve it. Because all we have is ourselves. That's all we have. We only have ourselves. If we want to break away from the chain, those who orchestrated these all killings in eastern Nigeria, they are no other people than the Igbo leaders themselves, the Igbo politicians, who actually had a chance of preventing it, but they chose not to. They chose the easiest way, the one that reward them with power and wealth, while the people get killed. So they are united against us. And it will be so sad if you are one of those who dwell in that water, double whammy, they call it the water of ignorance, where you think tearing yourselves apart or tearing yourselves down will actually probably make this work easier for you. It won't. It will drown all of us. If you don't agree with the style of Nnamdi Kanu, yet, I mean, the idea of freedom, of choice, the idea of liberty, the one that will give you the chance of choosing, I mean, real choosing, where you are part of your own country, even if you choose to still be part of Nigeria. You don't want to be part of this rotten, rigged, and ruined Nigeria, where you have those, they call themselves the ruling class. People call them the ruining class, not ruling class, feed from. So it will never be this, with it? Of course not. However, we have those who have pushed the Biafran struggle to the point that it became a political conversation, even during their debates in Anambra. And good enough, the man that said that whatever we feel like about the IPOB and their struggle for Biafra, they should be called to the table. They are not terrorists. We all know that they are not terrorists. Whatever state-sponsored terrorism going on in Nigeria today, we know those behind them. They are not terrorists. Call them to the table. The man that actually defended them. You know one thing? Almost all the three major candidates in Anambra election agreed that IPOB, they are fighting a just cause. And it is Nigeria that is unleashing violence on them, blaming them for the violence, and they need to be brought in, they needed to be brought to the table. Whatever the grievances are, whatever the differences, they can be discussed rather than people getting killed unnecessarily. So this is an achievement for every one of you who have stood up for IPOB, for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for everyone who has been a victim of the Nigeria high-handedness and assault, right? The illegality of Nigeria. It is to your credit that those who pretended that they don't know what is going on couldn't pretend even when the election came. They had to take a position But the man that actually said, we should bring you to the table, we should bring the Biafrans to the table, we should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without any condition, we should begin negotiation and bring peace. That is possible when the Igbo leaders are ready for it, when the Igbo political class are united for it, when they are really ready to protect what, theirs, their own. It will happen. Soludo will be the governor of Anambra after Obiano. However, during their debate, he had this to say. Just a reminder.
Do you condemn IPOB or do you support IPOB and similar groups in Anambra State? Let's start with you, candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Andy Uba.
You know, for me, talking about condemning or supporting IPOB, we need to sit down and dialogue. We need to find out exactly what's the problem. People killing people are not what, that cannot get us to anywhere. That cannot give us the independence or the freedom that we need. We need to sit down and engage and be sure what we are talking about, what their needs are. When you see that, me condemning IPOB or supporting IPOB, it's not what I'm going to say, because you need to see what the problem is in the first place before you can tackle the problem. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to say I support IPOB or I condemn IPOB, because I have to know killing is not right. It's not in any form and shape. Even if one soul is being killed because of that, it's not. And no, mind you that so many things are happening now.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me bring that question to Professor Charles Soludo, candidate of APGA. Do you condemn IPOB's activities, the ideology, and the way they're going about putting their message across? Do you agree with their method, or would you condemn them?
Let me be clear. I am the only one on this podium who is very clear on IPOB agitation, the neo-Biafranism and neo-Zekism. I happen to be the immediate past chairman of the Ohaneze and Igbo Planning and Strategy Committee, and at Ekwueme Square we reeled out the position of the Igbos on restructuring Nigeria. That obviously says, in terms of the mainstream about independent Biafra, I am a Pan-Africanist, a Pan-Nigerian, and that I have said and written copiously about for decades. However, I'm on record to have also said that the IPOB deserves to be heard. That this thing where the idea that the agitation cannot be shut down by a gun. When my brother says you have to find out, it's living in the moon. All these years you don't know what IPOB is agitating for.
Do you understand? And as we speak, somehow, the traditional voters in Anambra, they went for APGA. And I can tell this is why Obiano was like this. You remember this? So, Soludo will continue as the governor of Anambra under APGA. And like he pointedly said, nobody should pretend that they want to go and find out what is about IPOB. Everybody knows about IPOB. So since Soludo now has the state executive power, some said, Maiyegun, don't raise your hope on him. He's the same as them. Don't expect anything much. Again, I love giving people benefit of doubt. Because let me tell you something, right? Except violence, like you said, some people have said, revolution that will sweep everybody away and all of that, which some of you, because of those who are pushing the word revolution, you don't want to attach to it, right? Except revolution. You see, some of these guys, you have to find a way, right, to influence them, to help you raise the conversation at the right place. That's what is lacking. If all Igbo governors are being honest and they go for executive, National Executive Council meeting, whatever they call the meeting, that all the governors go to, and all the Igbo governors stand up and say, this is why IPOB are fighting, and we want to discuss it. It's either that National Executive Council meeting will not hold, because Buhari and gang will be shocked. Like, how dare you? How dare you, all of you, come here? But guess what? They can't arrest them. Now, if that such conversation is being held at the highest of the highest places, right? You see all these shenanigans. They won't be as brazen as they are right now. And that's what we are talking about. Some of you don't trust. You have trust issue. I understand that you have trust issue. I can't help you with that. But listen to me, right? There is something they say that you can keep your friends close, but it's ideal to keep your enemy closer. You get that now? And also, there is also a saying that learn how to use your enemy too. If Soludo is a potential one, for those of you who can influence that, I'm not saying you should raise your hope. I'm also not saying you should close it completely. Somebody made that on record. It's on record. That's the second time he's speaking in defense of IPOB. No joke. He believed that, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said something himself like that. He said, when they asked for restructuring of Nigeria, he said they won't take it. Stop wasting your time. That if negotiation gets to a point whereby they said, okay, let the Igbos manage their affair, that it will simmer the agitation of Biafra, because so many people will heave a sigh of relief and say, well, that is something to take away from a struggle before we get to the next one, instead of all this bloodshed, bloodbath, and killings. But they rejected everything until now said Biafra or nothing. Soludo and gang and the rest of them, when they begin to say it exactly the way it is and not pretend like Andy Uba, who was talking about all this killing, trying to blame IPOB for killings. Soludo said, listen, you don't have to, you are not living in the moon. We know the reason why this IPOB agitation has gotten to this stage. We know about the marginalization. We know about the injustice. Are we talking about them? Are we trying to prevent and defend these people at all? Of course we are not. They are the mercy of those who believe that they can do anything to them. Now, if Soludo and co are going to put word in for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, like I told you, even if devil will give his left eye to get Nnamdi Kanu out of the dungeon of the Daura Secret Service, right? I will be happy. But with the games they are playing, it is obvious that there is no judicial solution. Buhari and gang, they have no judicial evidence to prosecute or jail Nnamdi Kanu. So they will keep him there. And that is not good. And that is why whatever it's going to take from now, we should always be willing to try that. When they say up, ga, 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 up. Maybe you should do this time around what do you call the spirit of Biafra. That Nigeria has not so much to bury, but couldn't speak, put in the word. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not be in that place in Christmas. And you can make that happen if the right people from the right place begin to put in that word. But apart from that, I don't know what IPOB and DOS and everybody who is giving the order in this struggle. I don't know what they want to go. I mean, what the next direction is going to be. But I love the legal part of it. What they have told us clearly for those who were at court today. Those are the people that can make a difference, like for real. You get what I mean now? And I like that. So whatever we are going to do online, offline, to push and ensure that those who are keeping quiet are no longer keeping quiet. Look at the Southeast governor, Devulumayi, that is hell-bent, right, in destroying Biafrans, destroying IPOB, right? He himself has come out to say, you know what? Let's be sincere. IPOB is not violent. They are non-violent group. But we cannot pretend that some armed, violent gang, they have also used the leverage of IPOB, IPOB's acceptance and then, acceptance in Eastern Nigeria. Some of these armed gangs are also using it to perpetuate different criminality. Even if we don't believe Devulumayi, did we not see the Biafra National Guard? Those boys, those guys who came out, and they said they were going to stop Anambra election, and they went into people's shop. They stole biscuits, stole snacks, stole drink, juice, and all of that. They went into a filling station, filled their tanks with gas, and they didn't pay anything. That is that is never IPOB way, right? So even if we don't believe Devulumayi, we got that evidence just this past week, right? But the fact I'm saying here, I mean, the point I'm trying to make here now is that even Devulumayi knows that IPOB is not violent. So whatever needed to be pushed on the ground, this is the time. Let them go tell Buhari he's holding a wrong person. Because the right person to be talking to right now should be the same organized IPOB, right? To let them discuss their grievances and see where this takes us to. Or else, I don't know how this is going to go. And I wish I do. And you can tell that it's never really going to go well. Not for Nigeria, not for those power mongers, and of course, not for many of us who are going to be the victim of their criminality before the law, locally or internationally, finally caught up with them. I mean, why would anyone, right, not be so enraged, sad? For example, look at this.
In Ogun State, ilé ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o àti Ìbàdàn náà ti ń bọ̀ láàárọ̀ ìbọn ìpè wa Ìbàdàn làwọn ń gbé pé wọ́n ti ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá wa níṣekúṣe àwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́ wọ́n mẹ́ ṣàlàyé díẹ̀.
She's not the only one. In fact, what happened that day was that they went straight into a church where they're having a vigil. People were having vigil in their church. And Fulani terrorists came in the middle of the night, right? They raped some women, right? And they started beating them. They took some into the forest. As we are talking right now, yeah, the fate of those they took into the forest, kidnapped from that church, including the church, the church shepherd. That happened in Abeokuta, in Ogun State, Yoruba land. So that's how close it is. But there's nobody to put in the word for us anywhere. Rather, they are telling us that we are overreacting. We are trying to create problems. We are trying to cause war for talking about what they are doing to people. Asking them that the more you have injustice, you can never have any orderliness in such country. When you deny people their rights, and you deny not just some people, you deny a lot of people their rights, and you believe you can get away with that, there's always going to be something that will backfire at the end of the day. And that's what we're trying to prevent. That's what we are trying to tell the whole world, to pay attention to what they are doing in Nigeria. Nigeria may not be the interest of any country, any major country in the world right now. But what Buhari is doing in Nigeria, if people continue to ignore, if the world continue to ignore, when the Kasala bursts, the whole world will not be able to deny or look away anymore. The outburst, the burst that will come out of that, the human refugees that will troop out of Nigeria, the whole world will no longer be able to look away. And that is why, for everyone who is doing a lot to checkmate these criminals, to put them in their place and let them know that whatever they are doing right now, they are only buying time. It's a matter of time, right? Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you don't have any case against him, is the right thing to do. If you have a case against him, he's right there in your court. Then present the case, bring your evidence, let his own defense defend him. Nnamdi Kanu has lawyers all over the place. And that's one thing I want to tell us, my brothers and sisters, our more Yoruba, as you go to Tofa Wanobayo, ka question àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe kò kárí ẹjọ́ olóyè Sunday Igboho ní Benin Republic. Ó ti ń lọ bí odindi oṣù 5 báyìí tí wọ́n ti di olóyè Sunday Igboho mú ní Benin Republic. Ọ̀rọ̀ case tí olóyè Sunday Igboho sọ àwọn lawyer Sunday Igboho di celebrity lórí social media. Tó ń grant interview, tó ń fún wa ní oríṣiríṣi story. Kò sí ìkankan nínú wọn tó lè sọ fún wa pàtó ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe ń di olóyè Sunday Igboho mú. Àsìkò tí tó fáwa tá a jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi ká question àwọn tí wọ́n handle case èèyàn wa Ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà mo ti make effort láti reach out sáwọn tó yẹ kí n reach out sí. Tó bá jẹ́ pé the right lawyers ni ò sí níbẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ kí a gba right lawyers f'Olóyè Sunday Igboho. Ẹ jẹ́ a gbà and gbogbo effort láti sanwó fún wọn, ìyẹn làwa lè handle. Ó ti yé báyìí sìn. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tẹ́ gbogbo ọ̀nà legal means tí ẹ bá mọ̀ locally and internationally, especially àwọn èèyàn wa l'America, because you've done it before. You sent your own legal representative down to Benin Republic, but they were not given access. We need to change this now. We need to change the face of the whole fight now. I loved what the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing. They are impressive enough for you to know that somehow Nigeria is not going to get away with this. We should do the same. We should not shy away from it. I am up for it. The moment I get to see the right team inside the Lanomo Udua, who are going to give us the complete background of the legal case of Olóyè Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic, the legal case of our brothers and sisters in Nigeria that Nigerian government are accusing of terrorism right now. We need to wade in. We need to change this. If it's going to be money, look at me very well. We will raise it, every penny of it. Give us your price. Give us a figure. Give us a quote. We want to change this, and we don't want them to hold Olóyè Sunday Igboho in, perpetually, in perpetuity. That's what they want to do. It is no longer about court case and what have you anymore. It is now diplomatic case between Nigeria and the power that be, the influencers, the political criminals from Yoruba land and across Nigeria, because his release is very, 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 dangerous to their 2023 scheming. But his detention, the continued detention of Olóyè Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic, is an insult to the collective sensibilities of all the Yorubas. I think it's time for us to take that step. And I am going to be one of those that will lead it. And I believe those who are also hearing me now, they're probably going to start doing something on it. We need to change this. And again, we say, if you feed the tiger as a pet, you are going to end up in its belly. Before Nigeria happens to you, before you become a story that we have to use as an example to others, listen, a failed country deserves no loyal patriot, because unloyal, compromised criminals who call themselves patriots are those who brought the country to this divisive, destructive end. The right thing to do is to hold them responsible. Don't go down with Nigeria before Nigeria happens to you. I don't know whatever that could mean to you. Make of it wherever it is. Free Nnamdi Kanu, free Olóyè Sunday Igboho, and indeed, break up Nigeria to save lives. And thank you very much for your time. I'm going to be back later. If you are watching this video for the first time, or if you are just joining us, right? Listen to me. This is a detailed broadcast about what happened in Abuja today. Something that can give you a very clear idea of what went down in Abuja today during the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What you have to do right now, if you're just joining us, rewind this video, just move it back, and you can watch it all over again. And if this is your first time of joining Maiyegun's Diary Live, maybe this is also time for you to subscribe. Check on there. Click on that subscribe. Like that video on YouTube, especially on YouTube. Like that video. Share it as a means of getting back in whenever you want to. Set your notification to on. Set everything on so that whenever Maiyegun is live like this, you won't miss it. Thank you for your time. I'll see you some other time. And a very good afternoon to you.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
bójó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.